With Sports Town Chicago on our latest edition of Coach's Corner. Lucky enough to be joined by state champions for the girls division, Lake Forest. Coach and Hannah Redden over here, the state championship already. Now this is your second year coaching with the team. First year in there, you guys make it to the state championship, experience a tough loss. Last year you come in, beat Loyola 4-1, really put it on that team. What was the biggest key to success for the team?
Well, I think we've got so many great players. I mean, this year especially was the depth on our team. We had 3 full lines we could run out there, and of course we've got Hannah in between the pipes, who was goaltender of the year 2 consecutive years. So that's always a nice little backup to have there. As we know, goaltending is extremely important in the playoffs. But the key was for us that depth. I could run out 3 different lines. I was able to match up with every single team. With in particular New Trier, who's got 2 very powerful lines. I could match up 2 of my lines and still have a 3rd line that I could throw out there to get some offense. And that was very important when we reached the Blackhawk Cup.
Now, last year you guys did get experience as a team of making it to the title game. What kind of experience does that give you guys as a team to get a deep run into the playoffs leading into this year when you're bringing back majority of the team?
I think the fact that we got a chance to play there last year gave us a huge head upon, I don't know what I'm saying. It gave us a
heads up,
yeah, above Loyola, because they came in, we were all standing there in the United Center parking lot, kind of, we were chill. We were like, okay, we got a hockey game, and they came in blasting through, blasting their car radios, so excited, and I think we were all just more calm, okay, we know what we have to do, and we have to win this game. It's our game. We're gonna win.
Now, was it like that last year for you, being in your first year playing for that state championship? Did the moment kind of overtake what you guys were trying to accomplish?
Absolutely. That was definitely, I think all of us are big Blackhawks fans, and all of us were just kind of in awe of playing at the United Center and being there. And Neighbor Valley last year came in ready to play like we did this year, and that's definitely why.
Yeah. Now, from a coach's standpoint, how was it for you?
I can second that. I mean, the moment got to me last year as well, our first year in there. I mean, day 1 I walked in and said our goal was to make the United Center. Did I actually believe that was going to happen? Honestly, I was a little hesitant. I don't know if that was the truth or not. I say it because I'm supposed to, but I thought we were still a year away. I mean, my first year getting everyone acclimated to what I was looking for. We got there. The big win was the semifinal against New Trier, which was what I was building up for the entire season. I wanted to beat New Trier and knock them out of the playoffs. We did that in the semis that year, and then we got the opportunity to go to the United Center. We're just thrilled to be there, and we kind of forgot to get ready ourselves for the game, and I take the blame for that one. I'm glad we were able to rebound this year and get that state title. I mean, the girls, yes, they were excited too, but I'm the one that I'll take the burden on that one. We had to be ready to go. I kind of slipped up on that one because I got stuck up in the moment. I wasn't going to let that happen this year, though. So.
Now, I do have to ask you, Neighbor Valley lost to Loyola in the semifinals. Any part of you wishing that they would have made it to kind of take them on again and kind of claim that title from last year in a repeat?
Definitely. I stayed because they played right after us, and I stayed for halfway through the game. And Loyola, obviously, if you don't score on them first, you have a lot of trouble trying to score on them during the game. And they'd been down, or Neighbor Valley had been down 1-0 the entire game, and I was like, okay, I think I know who's going to win this game. So it was bittersweet. I wanted to play Loyola because we hadn't beat them yet, and it was the same situation as we were in last year, except opposite. But I did want to get that win over Neighbor Valley.
Now, Hannah, you're the only senior on this year's team. Being the only senior, do you feel that you get a little bit more pressure on you to set an example, both in the locker room and on the ice, and show by example what it means to be in that senior leadership role?
I feel like there was, I've played with all these girls. I've played with them my whole life, and so I already being the older group. Obviously, there's always leadership roles that come into it, but and being the starting goalie, I was starting goalie all 4 years, and always having that leadership. I think I kind of grew into it, and it came naturally. I don't think I was really had a lot of pressure of it, but it was fun.
Do you feel that you personally got everyone's A game, being one of the top goaltenders for the girls division for 2 years in a row?
I'll say this every single time. My defensemen, the reason I won all these had a lot to do with Maddie Felser, Kelsey Patton, Carolyn Seeks, and Dana Marquis. I forgot. All 4, yeah. I think it had tons to do with them. In the playoffs, I know Smurf was saying goalies, it's great to have a good goalie in the playoffs, but my defenseman, the second period of the semifinal against New Trier, having 15 penalties, and my defenseman just coming out and getting shot, not letting the other team get shots, and that's what helped us get there.
Now, Smurf, is that the nickname they give you? How did he get the nickname Smurf?
My first year, I happened to have all blue practice attire, and one of our seniors that year, who I'm not afraid to chirp it up with my players during practice to keep it loose, keep it exciting. Just willing to joke around with them, and I was joking around with her, and she fired back at me, "Well, you look like a Smurf," and it stuck. And ever since then, I've been known as Smurf by all my players, and my legitimacy has kind of gone out the window in terms of any future of coaching, because I'm now known as Smurf by my players. But it's all good. I'm more than willing to be, have a nickname, just like all of them pretty much have nicknames. It keeps everything exciting, keeps everyone happy to be there.
Team chemistry.
Right, team chemistry is a very big part of our team, and it's what keeps us going every single day. So.
Okay. Now, I do have to ask you this being your second year, and you've been with the program all 4 years, who's been the biggest rival for Lake Forest? New Trier?
New Trier. My freshman year, I always say this, I think that we lost 9-0 to them, like some ridiculous score, and coming back like my junior and senior year and being able to beat them, and we beat them I think 2 times in the regular season this year. It's just incredible how much we've moved on.
That was my first day in. We had a team meeting. I got to meet all the players, and I said I have 3 goals for us. Number 1 and the most important goal is to beat New Trier. Kind of going off the Lovie Smith beat the Green Bay Packers motto. That was my motto, was to beat New Trier. I've held them up at that pedestal during my playing career, and then also as a coach. I've been beat by them so many times, I kind of wanted to get my revenge on them. They took upon that, and we've knocked them out two straight years and had some recent successes against them as well. So.
Well, Hannah, thank you for joining us. When we come back, we're going to be joined with Coach, and Lucy Barron's going to step in, and we're going to have some questions for her as well on Coach's Corner on SportsTownChicago.com.
You love watching and talking about sports, so why not turn that passion into a career in sports broadcasting at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting?
Hi, I'm Matt Abaticola from Sports Radio 670 The Score, Chicago's #1 sports talk station. I'm a graduate of the Illinois Center for Broadcasting, graduated in 2001, and I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the time that I spent at the Illinois Center for Broadcasting.
With a 10-month program and financial aid available, you'll learn to be on the air and behind the scenes.
The great aspect of it is that you're working on equipment that's being used in the marketplace today. It's not outdated material, it's not outdated equipment, they're not teaching you old techniques. You're learning actual techniques and working on equipment that are being used in marketplaces today all over the country.
For more information, go to beonair.com/Chicago Sports or text Chicago Sports to 33239 or call 630-916-1700. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting, where sports broadcasting careers begin.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner with Adam Osgood, joined with head coach Ryan Anderson and Lucy Barron from the championship-winning Lake Forest girls hockey team. Now, Lucy, I had a chance to talk to Hannah and Coach about it. What type of experience were you able to gain from last year's title game that helped you in this year's title game against Loyola?
I think last year we totally thought we had it in the bag, and because we beat Napa Valley 2 times that we played them over the season, and I think that everyone was just kind of, yeah, we're going to win, it's so exciting, we're going to Blackhawks rink, in United Center. It was really fun. And then we got on the ice and we just forgot everything. And it was really bad, but it just helped us this year. We knew we had to win.
Now let me ask you, that's very interesting they bring that up, that you guys had great success against Napa Valley last year in the regular season, but come the title game you guys stumbled a little bit. This year against Loyola, you guys had a tough regular season against them. Now, as a coach, knowing that 0-3-1 against them, what type of game plan did you have to change to be able to beat them in the most important game of the year?
Well, I think we spent the last month of the season really working on a certain strategy I was looking for. I was looking for a more defensive strategy, using our strengths. We absolutely have a very strong goaltender in Hannah and a very strong defense. We have 4 outstanding defensemen, all underclassmen on top of it. Probably our best defenseman is a freshman this year. So got 3 more years of her, which is going to be outstanding. But I wanted to use those strengths. I wanted to limit the other team's scoring opportunities and then try to create offense from that. So we worked on a certain forecheck. We kind of changed things up. We really got into nitpicking on what we wanted to do and really focus on those game plans. And it took some time to really figure it out. We stumbled in the Scholastic Cup. We were the #1 seed for the Scholastic Cup and ended up finishing 4 out of 5. And then we get to the Blackhawk Cup and things just clicked. And when we got to go up against Loyola, I knew exactly what they were capable of doing. I was actually kind of glad we got to play them over Napier Valley and who faced each other in the semifinals because we hadn't beaten Loyola yet. There was still something we had to achieve, and I knew the girls were going to come out motivated to beat them. And we followed our game plan. We knew that we'd get the turnovers and get scoring opportunities, and our offense clicked that last month when we finally really started playing a system of hockey. I'll give the girls a lot of credit because they spent a lot of time in practice dedicating themselves to our team and working on that system.
Now, I know with Loyola, they had 2 sets of sisters on that team, so obviously they played together for a long time. When you're setting up a game plan, when you're kind of playing against people that are related like that, almost like the Hawks are doing with the Sedines, is it almost your team has to be that much more crisp because they know exactly what they're going to be doing because they played together that long?
Well, the twins you're referring to are very good. One of them was the forward of the year or player of the year, whatever you want to call it, for the state. So we had a strong idea what we wanted to do with them. I think they both have their advantages, the things they like to do, and just trying to get them out of that mold, similar to the way with the Blackhawks, with what doing Vancouver and the Sedines Twins, try to get them out of their normal situations. For the Blackhawks, it's working because the Sedines don't play much defense, so put some pressure on them, they're going to falter. And for us, it was getting them to make long passes and really stretch them out. I think they're very good in small spaces. If we can spread them out like we were able to, we're going to use that to our advantage.
Now, Lucy, you were only a sophomore this past year, 2 seasons with Lake Forest, 2 title games back-to-back. You're going to be an upperclassman next year. What type of leadership role are you going to take on with this team now, with that type of success that you've already experienced for the underclassmen as a leader?
Well, I know that we have a lot of freshmen coming in, so I'm just going to make them feel comfortable around on the ice. It's definitely a faster pace what they're used to. So you just got to get comfortable, get really have fun with the girls, but also, focus in that we've got that big goal to beat New Trier and get to state and win state every year.
You got to lead by example too. So I want to ask you, going into your junior year, what's the one area of your game that you feel that you're really going to work hard on to become a more complete player?
Well, my coach always says finish, because I always get nice passes, open net, and I always miss, or the goalie saves it, or I whiff on the puck or something, and so I'm definitely going to try to get better at finishing.
Well, she finished when it mattered the most. Yeah. She was credited with the game-winning goal in the Blackhawk Cup, so you can't fault her for that.
I can't fault her for that. She did score. She played outstanding, especially in the semifinal and in the final. She did outstanding job in those 2 games. She scored basically from the ground in the championship. Yeah. So I know her desire. She when she plays like a psycho is when she's at her best. And I've been really trying to get her to play like that every single game. It's obviously difficult to go out there and play like it's your last game every single time out there. But when she plays like that, she's a beast out there, and whether she finishes or not. I know that's kind of our running joke with her on the team is when she gets those opportunities to score, but hopefully she'll continue where she left off with the state championship game scoring, and now hopefully that'll carry over for next year.
It's not as exciting of a finish as if you get the game-winning goal in overtime, but it is the game-winning goal nonetheless. What kind of feeling is that to know that in the biggest game on the biggest stage, you're able to contribute and help your team get that win?
It was awesome. It happened so fast. It was 2 seconds and it was over, and I didn't even get to see it on the big scoreboard because I was so excited. But I saw replays of it, and friends came and they were like, "Oh, it was the coolest goal ever," and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool."
It was pretty cool. We were able to be there and watch it, and when you were almost pretty much laying down on the ice, it probably was one of the more impressive goals of the day. Now, I do have a question for both of you, because you coming in now as only a junior. You have a lot of returning players. The only one leaving is Hannah. A lot of experience on this team now, too, with 2 title games back-to-back. What kind of expectations are you guys putting, not only on yourself from a coaching standpoint and a player standpoint, but as a team? What kind of expectations are you having on yourself?
Well, for me, the expectations, of course, would be to return and win again. With everyone coming back, with the exception of Hannah, that expectation is there. It's going to be something we're going to have to face front and center from the very get-go, and there's going to be a target on our back. Just like I think during the past season there was a target on our back because we were there. We knocked out a big team in New Trier the year before. Even though we lost, there was still a target on our back, and I think we struggled with it this year. Being identified as one of the front runners. This upcoming season, I don't see that. I think one of the big things we really worked on during the season was to really have that swagger of being a top team. And there's a few players in particular that stand out to me on our team that have that swagger and are willing to really, be that, you know, that top force. That when we're talking about the top teams in the state, you're going to mention Lake Forest #1, and then you're going to mention Loyola, New Trier, Napier Valley, those teams. But we want to be that top team, and I want to bring that swagger next year. Be out there and be competitive every single game. I think we kind of took some games off during the course of the year. We weren't really gelling until the very end. I don't want to take my pedal off the gas. I want to be going the whole time, and I think hopefully Lucy agrees with me on that one. So
yeah, when we got to be in the NHL visitors locker room, and that was cool. And as soon as we walked in, Caroline Knapp was just like, "All right, we're coming back next year." Like, like this is amazing. And so everyone had that feeling like this is so cool playing at the United Center. We got to go in the Blackhawks locker room. And everyone just had that feeling of like, this is so cool. And then after we won, everyone was just like, we're coming back. We gotta keep winning.
What was the celebration like on the ice?
It was great. Everyone was just screaming, and it was just like, yeah, we did it. Like, it was crazy. It was so much fun.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Coach Ryan Anderson, Lucy Barron, and Hannah Redden. For Coach's Corner on SportsTownChicago.com, I'm Adam Osgood.